Hello everyone, this is Prashant. In this video, we will discuss on the topic time response of second order system. Okay, so in the previous video, we discussed about the first order system for different test signals. Okay, so we got the response for first order system when step input is applied, u of t, and the second one, the ramp input is applied. So we see both the cases, the response of the first order system for unit step input and the response of the first order system for unit ramp input. In both the cases, we studied the complete behavior of the first order system for different test signals. Okay, so today let us discuss the topic time response of second order system. Okay, so this is the standard block diagram for the second order system. So where g of s into n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n and h of s is 1. It is a unity feedback system. So once you solve the closed loop transfer function using the negative feedback system, that is g of s divided 1 plus g of s into h of s, the final transfer function of the second order system will be so omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square. Okay, so by using this equation. So this is the standard form of the standard transfer function for any second order systems. Any second order system will be compared with this type of this standard transfer functions. Okay, so as you see here, where omega n indicates the undamped natural frequency in terms of hertz and zeta indicates the damping factor or damping ratio. So based on this damping ratio, the control system is being classified. Okay, in the first lecture we have seen that in the class we have seen the control system is classified based on this damping factor. So first classification is undamped system, and second one is underdamped system, third one is critically damped system, and fourth one is overdamped system. The control system is being classified in second order system mainly. The control system is being classified into four types. One is the underdamped system, undamped system, underdamped system, critically damped system, and overdamped system. So we'll see briefly about these type of classifications with respect to the second order system. Okay, so first one is we'll see underdamped system. Okay, so in case of undamped system, the first one is undamped system. Okay, so in undamped system, the value of zeta will be 0. Okay, in undamped system, the value of zeta will be 0. So in standard form of the second order system, the transfer function, we have s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square. So look at the transfer function. Usually the denominator, if we equate the denominator term of the second order system, that denominator is the characteristic equation of the second order system. Okay, the roots of this characteristic equation are usually represented as a poles. Okay, and the roots of this numerators are usually represented as zeros. Okay, as I told, so once you equate the denominator of this polynomial equation, it is s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square equals to 0. So this itself indicates the characteristic equation of the second order system. Okay, so for undamped system, let us substitute the value of zeta equals to 0. If we substitute the value of zeta equals to 0, the poles or the roots of this characteristic equation are purely imaginary. Let's sketch the poles here. That is when we substitute zeta equals to 0 for underdamped system. So this term will get 0. So what we get? S square plus omega n square equals to 0. So s square equals to minus omega n square. The roots of these polynomial equations are purely imaginary, that will be located on the j omega axis. Okay, for undamped system. For undamped system, the poles are purely imaginary and lie on the j omega axis, and the system is called as undamped system. Okay, so next second one, underdamped system. Okay, right here. For underdamped system, the most of the systems are designed when zeta is less than 1, underdamped system. Okay, for underdamped system, the value of zeta lies between 0 to 1. 0 less than zeta less than 1. The value of zeta is between 0 to 1. So for example 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 up to 1. Okay. So for any value which is less than 1, the poles are complex conjugates and lie on the left half of the S plane. Okay. For example, so this is the S plane. So this indicates the y-axis, imaginary axis. This indicates the real axis. So for 100 ampere system, the roots of this characteristic equation or poles of the system are completely located in the left half of the S plane. The poles are pure complex conjugate poles. Complex conjugate poles. So as I told, for 100 ampere system, the value of zeta is less than 1. The poles of the system are complex conjugates. They are completely located at the left half of the S plane. This is the S plane. The poles will be here. It's a complex conjugate poles. This will indicate imaginary axis. This is the real axis. For undamped system, the poles are on the imaginary axis. For 100 ampere system, when zeta is less than 1, the poles are completely at the left half of the S plane. There too, the poles are complex conjugates. So this is about the 100 ampere system. Next one is we have critically damped system. For critically damped system, the value of zeta is exactly 1. For critically damped system, the value of zeta is exactly 1, and the poles are real, negative, and equal. Okay, and the system is critically damped, and the response rises slowly and reaches to final value. Okay, the poles are real. They may be located at the left half of the S plane, and equal. You get the equal pair of roots. Okay, they may be located at the right half of the S plane. And if you see the response of the system for critically damped system, it increases slowly and reaches to final value. It remains constant. Yeah. Whereas in case of underdamped system, the transient response of the system is oscillated. So hence the control systems are mainly designed for underdamped systems. Okay, and the last one is overdamped system. Next one is overdamped system. For overdamped system, the value of zeta is greater than 1. The damping factor is greater than 1. That is 1 or 1.5. And the poles are real, negative, and unequal. In case of critically damped system, we got the equal roots, whereas in case of overdamped system, the poles are real, negative, and unequal. And the system is called as overdamped system. So, for example, the roots are located at the right half of this. You got the roots may be here, the roots may be here, the roots may be here. You get the unequal roots. In this case of underdamped system, in this case the transient response of underdamped system, it increases constant. It reaches to infinity. It is continuously increasing waveform. You can't get the oscillatory waveform in case of overdamped system. Okay, so once you get the information about the underdamped and critically damped system, the control systems are mainly designed by considering the value of zeta is less than 1. Okay, for underdamped system, if we solve this equation, it is x square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square equals to 0. Okay, the roots of this equation will be, so s1 will be, it's minus zeta omega n plus zeta into omega n, the first root, zeta omega n plus j omega n square root of 1 minus omega n square, and s2 will be minus zeta omega n minus zeta omega n square root of 1 minus omega n square. So these are the roots for when the system is underdamped, when the system value, zeta value is less than 1. Okay, most of the systems are designed with zeta value less than 1. So if you simplify further this equation, S1 S2 reduces to it is minus zeta omega n plus or minus j omega t. Okay, where omega n is the undamped natural frequency, where omega d is the damped natural frequency. Okay, and omega d is given by omega d equals to it is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. So this is zeta square. Okay, thank you.